Good morning, profitable traders. Welcome to today's market color. My name is Cynthia Ezike, and I am going to be taking you through the market color today. It is so good to have you guys here. Thank you for joining in consistently. So if you haven't invited your friends, your families, and your foes for this top-down analysis, market color rather, please, I'll give you a moment to share the link on your various social media platforms with your friends, families, and foes, if possible. So I'm going to give you 15 seconds to do that. To share the links, spread the good news, spread the gospel of our daily market color here at Value Flow Trading, powered by Opta. This market color is being powered and brought to you by Opta. So kindly share the links while I wait for you to share the links before we proceed. I'm giving you a moment to share the link, please. All right, so I am assuming that you have shared the links and you've invited more people for today's market color, being the 7th of March, 2024. All right. All right, so I will be analyzing the dollar index with other correlated pairs today, the EU and the GU, Euro USD and the Pound USD. So on the weekly time frame, we can see that dollar is clearly bullish. And then from our swing, our Fibonacci fib, I beg your pardon. I have drawn my Fibonacci from 0.8 points B, right? And then price kind of reacted off 78.6 level. But as we can see, there's a little bit of a retracement to fill in this very tiny fair value gap on the weekly time frame. It is really, really tiny. Really tiny. So price will be coming all the way to fill. Very tiny fair value gap here before it continues its buy to the upside. And this tiny fair value gap also coincides with 78.6% fib level. So expect price to trade all the way into this tiny fair value gap before it continues its buy to the upside. And where am I interested in taking my first profit is this fair value gap residing to the upside. Although price has already tapped into it a little bit, but I still expect price to go all the way here and also take out this high on the weekly time frame. So a little sell to the downside to fill in this tiny fair value gap here before I'll be confident enough to ride dollar to the upside on the weekly time frame. And then for the daily time frame too, I can see that there's, a fair value gap here, very tiny. So price has the incentive to trade into this fair value gap here before going to the upside. So on the daily time frame, I am interested in shorting the dollar up to this tiny fair value gap here. On our 4-hour time frame, right? You can see that there's an order block here, and price is already finding its way into this 4-hour order block before it continues its buy to the upside. So short term, I want to sell the dollar short term before continuing my buy. So once it taps into this order block on the 4-hour, I'm interested in buying the dollar, continuing the buy of the dollar, because the overall trend for the dollar is actually an uptrend and a buy. So once it's tapped into this sell is just a little bit of a retracement into this order block for the buy to continue. So I'd want to really sell a little before I continue buying the dollar to the upside on the 4-hour time frame. Right? So for me to continue my sell on the 1-hour time frame, I want price to retrace a little bit into this. I want to see price retrace a little bit into this fair value gap on the 1-hour time frame. Right, I want to see price right. The price will retrace into this tiny fair value gap before it continues the short-term sell on the 1-hour for the dollar index. So I am bearish for today on the dollar. So we'll be moving straight to other dollar correlated pairs, which is the pound USD. So on the weekly time frame, I'm just going to drop my fib from point A to point B, right? And then we can see that the GU was in a range for a couple of moments, and price traded into the 61.80% of the fib level. So I am looking at seeing some sort of a reaction to the downside. Since price has already traded into 61.8 level, I will be interested in looking out for little for sales from 61.8 level, or price could go all the way into 78.6% fib level before going to the downside. On the daily time frame, right, I can see that GU has also been caught up in a range on the daily time frame, I'm interested in seeing price clearing all of this liquidity to the downside and trading into this fair value gap. This is my first point of interest for taking profit when price trades into this fair value gap and proceeds to clear all of this liquidity residing to the downside. So price has the incentive of trading to the upside, clearing this liquidity before going all the way down, tapping into this fair value gap, and also taking out this liquidity to the downside. So I am seeing a little buy on the daily time frame before I continue the overall trend, which is a sell for the GU, right? On the 4-hour, I can see that price has already traded all the way into this order block. So we should be looking out for sales. Since price has already gone into our point of interest, we should be looking out for sales here. Price is already at this zone, traded into this order block here. So at this moment, we should be looking out for sales to the downside on the 4-hour time frame for the GU. Right, basically, that's it for the GU. And then I'll be going to analyze the Euro USD too. Well, on the weekly time frame, I'll just drop my fib from here, 0.8 points B, right? So we can see that on the weekly time frame, EU is clearly bearish, and it is just retracing into, this buy is just a retracement into either 61.8% fib level or 78.6% fib level. This buy that is taking place is just a retracement and not the overall trend. The overall trend for the Euro USD is a sell trend, but at the moment, this buy is a retracement. On the weekly time frame, I want price to buy all the way to 61.8% fib level or into 78.6% fib level. While for the daily time frame, right, I am also having a buy bias for the daily time frame, a short time buy bias before, price continues its sell trend, its overall sell trend. Price has already tapped into this fair value gap and reacted of it. So I think price wants to come into this fair value gap again, trade into it before selling all the way down. On the 4-hour time frame, right, I can see a very tiny fair value gap that price has already tapped into, right? And we can see that price is, breaking to the upside on the 4-hour time frame. So it's a buy for the EU on the 4-hour time frame. I am interested in buying the EU today. Short term, the overall trend is a sell trend, a bearish trend. EU is bearish, but for the short term, we are just catching a retracement to the upside, buying for the short term before we continue our sell to the downside, right? So I am having this bias that, price wants to come into this tiny fair value gap here, although price has tapped into it a little. So I have the incentive of price tapping into this fair value gap again to continue its short-term buy to the upside. So that will be it for now from my own end. CJ, what's your bias on this current pairs, please?
Well, for EU, seeing the rally that happened on EU, I'm expecting the retracement, just like you have highlighted, somewhere around 1.08815. Expecting a retracement all the way to that place, and even possibly below to that 1 hour order block around 1.085. So I'm expecting EU to drop all the way to that level. Okay, so there are so many points of interest to the downside, so many liquidities, both internal and external liquidity residing for EU to the downside. So I think I have a lot of interest on seeing EU drop all the way to the downside. So that is my own bias on EU. I have so much to see on the downside. Then for GBP USD, GBP USD has been in a range since December. I've mostly been sitting on my hand, so I'll possibly not comment on that. But for EU, I'm looking at a short on EU, just like you analyzed.
Thank you very much. Please, CJ, there's a question for me. So someone said, what of the FVG on the daily and weekly time frame? Which one will you consider to push the price to the upside? Is it weekly FVG or daily FVG or H for other block? I will going back to the XY. Well, for intraday, I am expecting that the other block on the 4 hour should be the one pushing price to the upside. Once price gets to this other block, you should be looking out to buying the XY. So the other block on the 4 hour time frame is where I'm interested in buying the dollar. Once price gets to the other block on the 4 hour for intraday, I will be, buying the dollar. Is that clear? Is that clear enough? There's a question on you. This Abiola, is that clear? I asked a question yesterday about house checking rooms. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Abiola. Are there more questions to be answered? Let's see. Okay, in the absence of no more questions, I'll be calling on CJ to analyze gold and Japanese yen. Thank you for having me.
Everyone, welcome back to the market color for today, the 7th of March 2023. I hope you're having a wonderful week already, and I hope you all are already taking advantage of the analysis, the very beautiful and wonderful analysis done by Cynthia Billion. So we're going to be proceeding with the analysis for gold, and then we'll look at yen, take a few commentaries, and we'll wrap up. But just so you know, the precise entry and exit point that Cynthia has already, for the analysis that Cynthia has already made, is going to be dropped in our exclusive group for those who are part of the TDA Plus. So to be a part of the TDA Plus, all you need to do is just take 3 steps, sign up with our preferred broker, fund your account with about $500 all the way to even $20,000. Send us a proof or a screenshot that you funded your account, and within 3 minutes, you're going to be added to the group. So without wasting much time, we're going to be proceeding with the analysis for gold. Now, looking at gold, something new has happened on gold that has not happened in a very long time. Since January, between December and January this year, gold formed a new all-time high. Sometime, yes, December 1st, 2023. Gold formed a new all-time high. Now we are seeing that in March, the 7th of March, gold has gone ahead to form a new all-time high. This high has never been seen on gold. This new price has never been seen on gold. So gold is in what we usually call price discovery. Okay, price discovery is when price has gone to a place that it has never been to. So there's no reference as to where price is going to. There's no point of interest as to where it's going to reverse from or react to. So that's what we're seeing on gold. So gold is going all bullish. You can see the new all-time high to 2154.24 levels. That is the new high for gold. And we're going to be analyzing it to see what we can possibly get out of the market. Now, seeing the force that gold is using to create this rally, I will not advise anyone to be looking for a sell. This is the worst time to look for a sell on gold. What are you going to be looking for? Just buys. Whenever you see any pullback on gold, buy. Whenever you see any pullback on gold, buy. All right, so if we look at the daily time frame, we can see, although gold has created some imbalances, fair value gaps, order blocks, inefficiencies all the way, it doesn't necessarily mean that gold must return to all those levels. What we are expecting from gold is to go ahead to discover new prices. When it's done discovering new prices, we'll use the 4-hour time frame structure to now determine the new direction for gold. Before you start selling gold, our advice, wait for 4 hours or daily time frame break or structure. If not, any pullback you see, you take a buy. Any pullback you see, you take another buy on gold. Okay, now you can see that this also aligns with what I was saying. You can see order blocks everywhere, fair value gaps everywhere. That's been trapping people and grabbing people in unpleasant places all this while. But we advise you to be careful and trade gold cautiously. Just be taking the buys whenever you see any pullback. Now, where is gold going to pull back to? We cannot tell because of the price discovery. So I would advise you, if you have other pairs you're trading, trade them. If you're not in the gold buy, you can stay out. If not, you watch out. If you see any pullback, most likely on the 1-hour time frame, you see any pullback, especially maybe somewhere around here, you see liquidity has been built up. Diagonal liquidity has been built up around all these places. Okay, so I may want to see gold break all these places and then trade into this place. It doesn't mean that I'll be selling it. No, that's not what I'm going to be doing. This time around, I'll quietly wait for gold to give a pullback. If I see my entry signature for a buy, I'll take another buy. So 2 places I want to see gold retrace into today before I buy is here and here. These are the 2 places I would want to see gold retrace into. 2148 level, or let's call it 2148 level, and then 2128 level. These are the 2 places I want to see gold retrace to, and then I'm going to be taking the buy. But I'm not going to sell it into this level. Even if it is 1,000 pips, I'm not selling it. All right, because of what we just said about gold earlier. Okay, so this is what I'm looking out for gold, and you should take note of this. Now, for most of you who want to trade in the long term, I would advise you to just watch what is happening to gold, because this is going to be like the first price discovery you are seeing in your trading experience. So I want you to just observe what gold is doing since it's creating a new price. Just observe all the things that it's doing, so that if you're trading any other pair in the future and you see it entering a period of price discovery, you know what to anticipate. All right, if you have your trading journal, you can be journaling your experience with gold in this period. This is the advice I'm going to give to you. But for today's market color, gold has formed all-time high, going into price discovery. We expect it to retrace, but we're not going to sell. We want it to sell by itself to all these places that we've marked, 2148 and 2128, and then we'll be looking for further buys on gold. But to take profits, you don't know where take profit is going to be, so you just target 20, 50, 100 pips, and you run out of the market, wait for another retracement. Okay? I hope this analysis is as clear as water from a spring. Now we're going to be looking at the yen basket. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, even in all our previous analysis from Lekon on Monday and then on Wednesday, we are saying that we want to see the yen basket give us a decent retracement, because all this while it has been selling, does not retrace properly into any of our points of interest. So we marked out some levels that has disappeared from the chart. One of it is this other block right here, and then another is this fair value gap right here. Okay, so we said we wanted to see the yen basket trade into it, and then lastly, this mitigation block here on the daily time frame. We said we wanted to see gold, the dollar index, not dollar index now, the yen basket trade into this place. So Lekon analyzed that, and you can see how it played out perfectly. When price got into this place, you can see the reaction. Now price is trading into these two other points of interest. And what do we say is going to happen on all yen pairs? We said they're going to be falling down, right? They're going to be going short on all other yen pairs. We've been selling Euro JPY, CAD JPY, GBP JPY since on Monday. We've been in the sell, we've been entering and exiting, and it has been going in our favor all the while. So we're going to look at all of them. But before that, we want to see where are the levels we expect the yen basket to react to. Now, one level that I'm expecting yen basket to get to is this high here, this other block, and this old low here. So I'm still expecting a little more rally on the yen basket all the way to this level. Now it has traded into this fair value gap. I want to see it make a move into this other block, then continue selling. Remember, the overall bias for the yen basket is a sell. Once again, look at the daily time frame to know how we got the overall bias. Cleared the low, and then it's retracing into some premium level to continue selling. You can also feed this level all the way from here to this low. You can see that price has gotten to 61.8 level. That is premium. All right, we want to see maybe somewhere around 78.6, which aligns with another point of interest we have on the upside before the yen basket starts to sell again. Now, looking at Euro JPY, you can see that it has been selling all the way from this other block right here. The moment it tapped into this other block, it has been selling all the way down. Where are the levels that we're seeing Euro JPY going to possibly sell into? On the daily time frame, one of it is this other block right here. It's almost like the inverse of what we're seeing on the yen basket. Well, I want to see Euro JPY trade all the way to this level. Based off sentiment, Euro is very weak this morning, London session. So we would want to take advantage of that when we see any pullback to continue selling Euro JPY. Now, seeing that the Euro is weak, we're seeing that the yen is strong. The best trade, I think, the best trade for this morning is going to be a sell of Euro JPY. Although the sell has already started since in Asian session, all right, the sell continued in Asian session, and we want to see a pullback, and then we'll continue selling it off for London session. So I want to sell Euro JPY all the way to this level. Whenever I see a pullback, I'll be willing to take that sell all the way to that level. That is going to be about 50 pips plus 124 pips, all right? So that's enough to get something out of the market. So if I see a pullback on Euro JPY today, I'll be willing to sell. Where are the levels I would want to see a pullback to? Seeing the momentum of this sell, I want to see a pullback to all this drama that happened right here around midnight. I want to see a reaction around this drama, and then possibly for price to return to this IOFED here. Okay, so these are the two levels I would want to see Euro JPY pull back to. I can't draw my fib because the Fibonacci tool is for retracement, and retracement has not started, so you can't draw your fib now. Because where are you going to point as your low? You already have your high. Where are you going to point as your low? So I would rather wait for the retracement to start, then I'll fib the whole swing, and then look out for places that is going to pull back to. But I have these 2 points of interest in mind for Euro USD to Euro JPY to retrace to, and then I'll be selling it off. And then finally, we're going to be looking at GBP JPY. Very similar to what Euro JPY is doing. I would want to see the same thing on GBP JPY. Then, when I'm about to take the trade, I would now check on sentiments to see which one is weaker amongst the two. When I see which one is weaker amongst GBP JPY and Euro JPY, then I'll be shorting that against between GBP and Euro, then I'll be shorting it against the yen. Okay, so these are the places I want to see GBP JPY trace into this level here, because there was a whole lot of drama, and this is the Asian low. So I want Asian high rather. I want to see price come back into this Asian session open and then retrace possibly maybe above it. Then I'll start selling GBP JPY from that level. Okay, so I hope this analysis was clear. And then finally, you can also look at it on the 4-hour time frame. You see that there was a break of structure here, so forming a mitigation block around this level. So it's another confluence that we're looking at, this whole mitigation block right here. So we may want to see GBP JPY retrace into this 4-hour mitigation block before we start selling. Okay, so the yen has been weak all this while, but of course it can't be weak forever. So we're seeing that the yen is now pulling back. Of course, if you go to fundamentals, and you're going to be able to trace it, but due to our time constraints, we may not be able to go and start checking all that now. But if you check out on the news, Forex Factory and the likes, you're going to start seeing why GBP JPY has been selling off. Okay, now someone asked a question some time ago and asked how to change time frames on FinViz. I remember clearly you were answered. I don't know why you didn't take note of the answers. Now, looking at FinViz, this top right level, you're seeing the letter D, you're seeing the letter W, M, MTD, and the rest. We've answered this question more than 2 times on the market color, and I guess this is going to be the last time we're going to be answering this question. D stands for daily, W stands for weekly, M stands for monthly, MTD stands for month to date, Q stands for quarterly, Y stands for half year, Y stands for year, and YTD stands for year to date. Currently, it is on the daily time frame. Okay, now looking at the daily time frame of FinViz, we can see that the yen is very strong amongst other currencies. You can see that the yen is very strong. And look at the weakest. You see, before we even open FinViz, from the chart, we already know what it's going to say. So the yen is very strong, and the weakest is the euro. So it's telling us that the best trade for this London session is going to be a sell of Euro JPY. You can see why we're not even looking to sell GBP JPY instead. So I would want to sell Euro JPY when I see some decent retracements. All right, I hope this answers your questions and even gives you more clarity as to the trades that you're picking for this London session. So if I see any retracement on Euro JPY, I'm going to be taking a shot on it. Right about now, we're going to be entertaining questions, and we're going to be taking commentary from our boss, the profitable investor himself. Good morning, sir.
Daddy Banks, good morning. Sorry, I wasn't able to be around yesterday. So for the first time in a while, I saw clear sentiment. I didn't see any imbalance in the markets. I'm giving a general overview. Remember how that we said, was it last week, that the dollar had refused to take a direction? I want to be sure that people are actually following. I said the dollar had refused to take a clear-cut direction. As a result of that, as a result of dollar not taking clear-cut direction, we were told that we should focus on the cross pairs. How many of you remember what I said? And there was a particular series of trades that we looked at, that we mentioned that last week. Even those who are in TDA plus, now market color plus. All right, exactly. Because I was saying that the dollar had not picked a clear-cut direction. But into last week, into this week, the dollar has picked a clear-cut direction, in the sense that we are seeing clear dump of the dollar across board, a clear dump of the dollar across board. So, and also we are also seeing the FinViz. Let's see FinViz. Okay, FinViz. Now, do you remember what it was looking like last week? And you can see the way it is moving. So now we're seeing a clear distinction. The dollar is taking a clear direction. Let's look at it on a weekly. That time dollar was somewhere in the middle, I think. Exactly. Do you see it on a weekly now? Let's see it on a monthly. Okay, monthly hasn't clearly peaked, but on the weekly, we are seeing that it is showing a clear-cut direction. Dollar has picked a clear-cut direction. CHF is on one side, USD is on one side, JPY is way on the other side. Who knows? If we have CHF, USD, and JPY all at the same place, because now they are both at the extremes, then that tells us something very clear about sentiment. Okay? So now we're having a clear-cut direction on the dollar. Dollar is obviously weak versus all the other asset classes. Like CJ said, gold is in a place of price discovery. Those of you who know our models with regard to inflation in the US, if you look at our bonds and bullion, we are seeing that even on the bonds, we may be seeing the start of a rally in bond prices, a drop in bond yields. If bond yields start dropping significantly, right, then that means gold is going to the roof. Gold is blowing through the roof, because think about it. If I am running out of the dollar, I'm looking for yield. Right? If yield starts to drop, so I've run away from dollar, which you are seeing now, everybody's dumping the dollar, which makes sense because interest rates, they were hiking it anyhow last year. So people were rushing into the dollar for the sake of what? Yield, interest. As they were increasing interest rates, people were rushing into the dollar. But now the central bank, which is the Fed, is no more interested in increasing interest rates like that. So you rushed into looking for yield is now reducing. You will now no longer be interested in yield. Rather, you may be looking for what? Price appreciation. Meaning, if I'm holding this asset, be paying me yield, be paying me interest. If you refuse to pay me interest, then let me hold on to an asset that the price will appreciate. So investors are either looking for yield or price appreciation. Those of you that trade stocks, you know this. When you buy a stock, you're either looking for a stock that pays dividend, so that you'll be collecting your dividend as you're holding the stock, or you are looking for a stock that increases in price, so that you will do what? You will not be getting dividends, but what you are holding will be increasing in price, so that you bought it low and you sell high. So from what I'm seeing in the global market, yield is no longer the issue. Nobody is looking for yield again. They are looking for price appreciation. That's why gold is blasting through. That's why Bitcoin too is blasting through, because those are not assets that people hold on to for dividend. Bitcoin doesn't pay dividend. Gold doesn't pay dividend or yield. It only appreciates in price. So this is telling me that the market now is looking for price appreciation. That's why you see stocks are rallying, price appreciation. That's why you see gold is rallying, price appreciation. That's why you see Bitcoin is rallying, price appreciation. What will confirm this for me fundamentally is if we see the safe haven assets start to sell off. Assets like the Swiss franc, assets like the dollar, and assets like the Japanese yen. So right now it's a bit tricky because Japanese yen is low, so they are using it for price appreciation. They are not using it for safe haven again. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Is it making sense to anybody or is not? So generally what I'm saying is what is driving the market now is price appreciation. Yields are no longer a driver of the market. I know it will make sense to Shei because Shei trades stocks. Yields are no longer a driver of the market. People are just looking for price appreciation. So if the US does go ahead to cut interest rates, then you can be sure gold, Bitcoin, boom, to the roof. But we're entering into a new quarter, March, April, so let's watch. So on a smaller time frame, what am I looking for? Whenever you see themes shift like this in the market, a shift of investment themes, you will see a lot of rebalancing. I won't be surprised if tomorrow, with the non-farm payroll, we see the dollar strengthen a bit, shoot to the upside before it now starts coming down. Why? Because whenever you have a shift in investment themes, they must rebalance their portfolios so that the price can trend. So I'll not be surprised if between today and tomorrow, we see, even though we say the dollar is coming down, if we see a sharp buy of the dollar to rebalance before they now allow this economic theme to prevail, all right? So price discovery, like CJ said, capital appreciation. What am I looking for now? When I go for fundamentals, I'm looking to see news on yields. I'm looking to see news that shows that people want to move from safe haven assets to start taking risk again. Please, sir, if the US does cut interest rates, will the longer term view of bullish dollar be? That's what I'm saying. If the US cuts rates, that means they won't be paying high rates again. If they are not paying high interest rates, and you as an investor, if they are not paying you interest, you start looking for assets that will appreciate in price. So if the US doesn't cut interest rates, cheap assets will start being bought so that they can appreciate in price. I don't see a bullish dollar as a valid move. I don't know how the dollar can be bullish if gold is bullish. I don't know how the dollar can be bullish if Bitcoin is bullish. I don't know how the dollar can be bullish, right, if US stocks are bullish. So we wait to see. But short term, the theme driving the market now is capital appreciation, all right? Looking for asset classes that will increase in price. Let's see how it goes moving forward. Okay, so between today and tomorrow, I want to see a short-term sell to the downside of all these capital assets that have gone up, because people that have, if gold hits an all-time high, if Bitcoin hits an all-time high, and you are holding it, you will take profit small. So tomorrow with non-farm payroll, I won't be surprised to see a little bit of dollar strength due to profit taking, and then we watch to see where price will actually go. This is what I think. The guys on the floor, please create an research into this, the headlines, to see if truly capital appreciation is where the market wants to go. All right? Thank you very much. Did what I said today make sense? Or it did make sense, so that when next I'm talking, I'll know how to bring it down to more understandable terms. Is it making sense? If you don't understand, say I don't understand, so I'll know how to correct it tomorrow. It's understandable. Okay. All right. So guys on the floor, well done. Let me see Euro USD. There's something I saw when Cynthia was doing her analysis. Let me see Euro USD. Fantastic. All right. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Fantastic. So there's something I want to show you guys here. Look at 15th of February. Then move it to about 1st and 2nd of February. Are you seeing the shoulder? A shoulder was formed around the 1st of February. Around the 1st, number 1, 1st, February 1. February 1. Let's go into, go back a bit. There's a shoulder I want to show you. Go back a bit. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's the shoulder there. Now, Cynthia said something about price tapping into that fair value gap that she has marked. The first fair value gap, the lower one that she marked, the smaller one. I'm using that tap now as a shoulder. I'm using that tap now, sorry, as a sweep. Then the one before it as a shoulder. The high just before it as a, exactly. Let's zoom in a bit. If that is a shoulder, and that is a sweep, right? That's the shoulder there, that's the sweep. Then what are we seeing? We are seeing liquidity, double top. Where is the double top? Mark the double top for me, please. It's even a triple top, but just mark it. Right? So that's the inducement, right? Box pattern. That's the inducement. All the way, mark it all the way. Bring it all the way to what is happening today. All the way. Yes, just stop it ahead. So, are you seeing what I'm seeing, CJ? What do you think I'm trying to show?
The box entry. All the way.
Demola, Mr. Box, Baby Dax, Demola Global, Baby Dax. Where you at, bro? Confirm this. Confirm this. Have you confirmed it? Am I on the right track?
Yes. There is a cell set up in the TDA Plus group for this cell.
Oh, you already put out for those who don't. Oh, yes, all right, I hand it over to the guys on the floor. If you were already in the paid group, we'd already give you all expo there. All right. Take care of yourself. Over to you guys. Cheers.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful and valuable insights and commentary as always. And we really appreciate. For everyone who is on this TDA, on this live market color, we want to let you know that we'll continue to give you as much value as we can during this period of this TDA. Just so you know, like I said earlier, all the price points, the specific entries and exits, just like you're seeing here, we're in the short of Euro USD since yesterday, around this 1.09157. We've been in the short of Euro USD. All the guys on our TDA Plus group are in the sell also. Are you expecting me to tell you I'll take profit? No. Stop loss? No. Now, to be a part of the TDA Plus group, all you need to do is just to do 3 things. You don't need to bring 2 people or 3 people. Sign up with our preferred broker, fund your account, send us a screenshot, and we're going to get you added in 3 minutes. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the top-down analysis. Just so you know, we have a few offers that are still available. We have the FX Bootcamp, which is currently ongoing. If you want to book your slots for the next FX Bootcamp, it's a 5-day training. You can do well to send us a DM via our official WhatsApp line, 081 60 something. I beg your pardon. Let me check the number. Let me be sure, so that you're not going to send it to one scam number. So send us a message on our WhatsApp number, and we'll be sure to give you all the necessary information that you need as regarding the FX Bootcamp. We also have our copy trading, which is currently active. Those who are on the copy trading, you know what tomorrow is. It's time for withdrawal. So make sure that you place your withdrawals by the end of tomorrow. We're still going to remind you about that tomorrow. And